It's the Moto3 Catalan Grand Prix moving over to the Italian Grand Prix at Mugello. Welcome to round 7 of the 2024 campaign. The riders on their formation lap, so let's take a look at how they line up on the starting grid. David Alonso on pole position, alongside him on the front row, that's going to be Ivan Ortola. Then it's Jose Antonio Ruda with Colin Vire, then alongside with Daniel Holgado, Luca Lucanetta, Woolstone, Faurizio, Kelso, Rossi, and then up into 11th place goes Zurizita, Nepa, Yamanaka, Munoz, alongside Suzuki, Ferroli, Fernandez, Ogden, Estevan, Piqueras, Caro, Bertoletti, Whiteley, Almanza, Barassi, and Noah Deltweller down in 26th position as well. Anticipation is high in this one, everybody. Welcome to the Italian Moto3 Grand Prix. Fingers crossed it's going to be a good one because the conditions are superb. And I wish I was making that up. They really are superb. I've been cooking, which is why we're slightly late on air as well. Sorry about that, everyone. I forgot that we needed to change over to Moto3 graphics because it only just changed over, so my hands are a bit... I'm going to use some antibacterial as well to get going. Just to get rid, because I've been cooking carrots and broccoli and that stuff. David Alonso leads on 118 points. He's 14 clear to Daniel Holgado, Colin Vire and Ivan Ortola, 43 and 48 points back respectively as well. There's a lot to do in the championship hunt here. And turn 1 is always a crunch point. So watch out for the action. It's going to be quite quick. Track temperature is at 32 degrees, air temperature is 21, 52% humidity, and a total of 3 km/h wind speed as well. It's hot, but a cool temperature for the riders as they line up on the grid. Joel Esteban there already, actually, as well, before he even got to the starting position on the grid. Everyone else now starting to take their places. Red flag at the front of the field, all set to go. The MotoGP riders watching on. David Alonso, championship leader, looking a little bit bored at the front of the field. He won't be bored in a minute though. 17 laps ahead of us as we'll venture down towards turn number 1. Second longest run down to the first corner, green flag in the back. The Moto3 Italian Grand Prix is under starters' orders. Pull the throttle back, we're racing in Mugello. Great start from Alonso, brilliant start from Alonso. Ortola immediately dives into second position on the run down towards turn 1. Luca Lucanetta comes up into third position. Faurizio's in fourth, and then it's about 5 riders wide into the braking zone. I think Teo Faurizio's moved up into third position, as well as Colin Vire trying to go on the inside there of Woolstone. Woolstone gets forced out, Vire goes through. Holgado, Lunetta in there as well as they come into Luca for the first time. Munoz made a good start, but David Alonso and Ivan Ortola, the two leading at the front of the field with absolutely storming starts. Into the braking zone then for turn 4 and 5. Almanza's dropped back, so Scott Ogden. Joshua Whiteley to 25th position on a great start from the MLAV Racing team. Noah Deltweller in last place as well. At least they've all made it through into Casanova. Downhill section. Everyone just looks to be okay. No big sign of trouble. They'll continue to rise uphill. It's going to be one of those days, I feel, where everyone's like, oh, are we here? Are we not here? Is it going to be one of those side-by-side manoeuvres? Don't forget, the new Pirelli rubber sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. Depends on what type of race you're going to get in that respect as well. Over the crest. Alonso holding the advantage. Rossi's past Holgado, 7th and 8th position, changing over now as well. So a few more battling positions to keep an eye on in the Italian Grand Prix. Through Biodani 1 and 2, down towards Scarpera, the last corner. Sandito is turn number 1. Esteban has been given a long lap penalty, so has Ferroli. That was before the race started as well, for incidents in qualifying and last time out the Catalan Grand Prix. Stefano Nepa passes Holgado. So lap 1 complete then in around about 2 minutes and 2 minutes 2.381. Down towards that first corner, 16 laps to go into the braking zone. And Alonso holding off Fiorizza, as I said, up 5 places. Munoz up 8 places. Better from his retirement last time out in the Catalan Grand Prix. Lanetta down 7. Zurzica down 6. That's down 7 now to starting in 11th place as well. Down to 18th. If you've missed any of the last 3 Moto3 races here on the channel, they're all live to watch now on YouTube. And welcome back everybody watching live on YouTube and Twitch. On the main channel. Oh, and up the inside, that's Ruda passing Munoz for 6th position, coming down through Casanova before Arrabbiata 1 and 2. So, and now it's around the outside as well. That's Stefano Nepo and Daniel Holgado. So Holgado's down to 9th place. Meanwhile, Ivan Ortola through Arrabbiata 2, right to the back of David Alonso as he hurtles downhill. He's going to try and find the opportune moment to sneak through on the inside line. Can't do it. Changes once, changes twice. Flick over, flick left, flick right. Down to the hairpin we go. I thought there might be something coming as well from Ortola, but he's biding his time. Fiorizza just ahead of Colin Vire. And Joel Estevan's dropping, so is Tasha Barassi. So what's happened to Barassi? Down in 26th place. Are they just dropped to the back, or are they out of the race? We'll keep an eye on it as it goes. There's the Moto3 timing towers. Bet you it'll be different next time out. They always are. We always have to change something or another. It's like a constant battle now to do these graphics. You used to be able to just go, oh yeah, there you go, all done, all set. No, these graphics change around, move around every 5 seconds. It's impossible to know when they're going to do next. I wish they'd just stabilise it. Down we come then. Fastest lap to Colin Vire on a 154.860. Faster than the speed trap is Daniel Munoz at 154 mile an hour. Now Caro at 155, which is 249 kilometres an hour. Through into Luco. Let's have a replay. This is the moment at Arrabbiata 1 and 2 from David Alonso. Oh, Alonso touches the red line, goes off the curb and almost has a massive high side coming through Arrabbiata 2. And that's why Ortola's sticking with him. Alonso making a few mistakes. He'll get a track limits warning. As Ruda looks to the inside at Casanova on Rulestone. Can't do it there, so Rulestone's really pushing it hard, but Jose Antonio Ruda is going to be pushing harder and faster. Battle for 5th place at the moment as they come through Arrabbiata 2. Up the hill we come. And Alonso just having that advantage now as they go down into the braking zone. Ruda gets through on the inside of Rulestone. Nice clean move and a nice important move as well. Yellow flag sector 3. And I think that is Zurzica and Ferroli, who have both dropped down the timing order. And yeah, so I think they've come together somewhere on the circuit. That's probably downhill after, it's into turn 12 and 13, isn't it? So it's just after Arrabbiata 2. Yeah, all they've got is crash at the moment. Haven't told us what part of the track they've identified them at. So Ferroli and Zurzica are out of this race. Top 4 now running together as well with Alonso, Ortola, Vire and Fiorizza as they come across the line. That yellow flag is still out there. Hope everyone's okay. We haven't seen that. We already had an accident yesterday for Lucas Tulovic. They've just said crashed out. As we get a lead change in the front, Alonso's coming under pressure. Colin Vire to the inside of Ivan Ortola. Fiorizza can't get through, stays there for in 4th position as well. Ferroli's rejoined the race. Okay. So Ferroli's rejoined, Zurzica hasn't. So just at the moment, and this is the accident we're seeing. Yeah, it's over the hill at turn 9. Oh, it's a high side. Oh, it's a nasty one at the top of the hill. Zurzica high sides and gets collected by Ferroli, and Zurzica left in the middle of the track. I think they moved him away, but the yellow flag's still out. We're coming into that part of the track now, actually. Where are we? We're coming through. If they need to, red flag, race is stopped. Red flag's out. Yeah, I thought they were going to have to. Arrabbiata 2 is a very hard part of the track to clear. And the riders put their hands up because if Ferroli's okay, he's got going. But if we have got an incident on the circuit, yeah, doctors are now with... Yeah, okay, red flag's out. Race is stopped. And it'll red flag due to turn 9 incident. Okay, so we'll regroup. And that is the 24, who is needing a push back. So that is Takatsuki Suzuki. Has he crashed into the yellow flags? No, I'm not sure what that is. Okay. Race red flagged due to incident at turn 9. So we'll go through that procedure again of having a restart. I knew it was going to be red flag. As soon as we saw the incident and it was a high side moment, you kind of know the race has to be restarted. 2/3 distance has not been completed. So we're only on lap 4 of 17. So it'll be a shortened race, but the red flag has come out. We've got no word yet. Race will be restarted for 11 laps as everyone now flies into the pit lane. You can see it coming up on my monitor here. Everyone coming into the pit lane. So the race is stopped. What we'll now do is we'll wait for the doctors to assess the situation, and then racing will resume after that as long as everyone is okay. So red flag is out. It'll be an 11-lap race. All riders conscious, I am delighted to tell you. That's the race direction information, so all riders are conscious. Well, for it, I got back to the pits, so yeah. In 3rd place, according to restart. Have they is that the restarted grid? Yeah, it is. I just hope that Zabi Zurazita is okay. All riders conscious, so Zurazita is conscious. But yesterday we saw an accident for Lukas Tulovic in the Moto E Race 1, which resulted in a red flag. It was a similar situation, actually, a high side and as well. This is the latest we have on Tulovic, of course, Lukas Tulovic, who crashed in the Moto E race yesterday. For Moto E themselves, they said Moto E rider Lukas Tulovic has been diagnosed with a neck and pulmonary contusions. Right, race directions now interrupting that. The race red flagged due to crash in turn 9. The race to be restarted for 11 laps, original grid positions. And I'm now seeing Zabi with a thumbs up he gives to the helicopter cameras and the fans, being lifted into the ambulance on stretcher, but he is conscious with a thumbs up. That's precautions, and that is the best news possible, because those scenes in Abu Beata 2 were a bit too similar to me from another accident long ago. Well, not too long ago, actually, but with Jason Pasquier a couple of years ago in Moto 2 in the qualifying session, the red flag coming out. So, second red flag of the weekend. First time Moto E has been red flagged this year. And we will now go into that procedure of waiting. So it's original grid positions minus Zabi Zurazita. So that's put David Alonso back on pole position. So yeah, that's how it's going to go so far. So Alonso on pole, Ortola second, Frizzo third, Via fourth, Woolstone fifth as it comes through. If you're just joining us, the race is red flagged due to an incident in turn 9. The race is to be restarted for 11 laps, original grid positions. And Ferroli hit Zabi as well as Zurazita. Zurazita had a high side coming out of Abu Beata 2. And it was a hit for Ferroli up the inside. All riders are conscious. Zabi has been taken into an ambulance, but thumbs up from him as well. But it's a red flag procedure to the race while we wait to see what's going to happen next. So they're going to take a breather over on the action on TNT. So they're going to go to an ad break while we wait for the restarted Moto 3 race. So, actually, let's take this opportunity to show the championship standings now that the race is going to be a total restart, so that everyone knows where we are in the world standings as well. Here you go. David Alonso leads the... Oh, hang on. There you go. David Alonso leads the title on 118 points. Holgado's 3 points back. I don't think that's right then. That's as they stand. So that was the red flag lap 4. The graphics have yet to reset themselves properly. They've red flagged at the time of everybody being out of the session. So it's not the official red flag procedure. to come into it. I wonder why visor was still open. So the race is red flagged. We're going to wait for the restart to come through. Let's just tidy up here, shall we? Everything looks a bit messy. I wonder why everything is messy. Anyway, tidying up. I love tidying up. Tidying up is so much fun as well. You just get everything sorted quite quickly. Where are we? There we go. Ah, there's the restarted race graphics. There we go. So they've shifted back now to show Antonio Ruda in top position. Why have they done that, I wonder? So, well, okay. They're getting more and more confusing all the time, aren't they? No one truly knows what's going to happen next. So, the race red flagged. We wait for the restart procedure to come through, and then we will go from there as to how you want to proceed in this race. Just adjusting the timing tower. So, race interrupted. That's the new red flag graphic, everybody. That's the third red flag in 4 races, actually. So, it's not actually been that big of a changeover as we were expecting. Hello, I'm sat down here now. While we get the red flag out. Oh, that chair's back a bit too much. He's been sat in my chair. So, we wait for the restart to come in. It'll be a quick restart procedure. I shouldn't think it'd take too long with it being in 11 laps. So, we did 4. So, 16, 15, 14, 13, okay, 12, 11. They've reduced it from 6 laps from the original distance. That's probably to keep the time in because they're going to do formation laps as well. And they cannot get the timing screen working. This is fun. The timings keep glitching. Because now, it's showing Ruda in the lead because Ruda's last in the pit lane. 99, remember? So if you look, they've gone in pit lane order. That's still what they've gone in. Zozita out of the race, but being taken to hospital. We understand as well. Medical centre, then hospital. And Felipe Ferroli's down there as well. Just a reminder, now we're in June. 15th to the 16th of June, but they're week covering the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Will be underway once again. We're covering that from the World Endurance Championship. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. The whole team going to be on for 24 hours. Every moment will be live here on JBMotorsports and on Twitch as well. So, we've got time. We're under a red flag here as we await the restart. Let's get the latest news from TNT Sports and Gavin Emmett, who's leading the commentary over there. We'll get their latest news as the red flags come out.
Welcome back to the Grand Prix of Italy in Moto3. We're just seeing the restart of the first race, which has been red flagged if you're just joining us. This was when they got away. We completed 3 laps, so we will get actually a new grid. I thought that's going to be the case, but anyway, it was the information that we were given on screen. So the grid will be Alonso or Tolafaya as your front row. How they cross the line at the end of that 3rd lap, basically. But we're watching from on board with Daniel Garner. That was the title with Colin Vaya and Luca Lunetta. Hand up. Sorry, Luca.
That was cool, wasn't it? To have a look over and a little apology. You can see how close it is, though, and that's how hard it is. It's not that you're not being aggressive, but then someone will just ride into the side of you.
Red flag, if you didn't see it, was because of a crash between Xavi Suratuza and Filippo Farioli. We're told all riders are conscious, which is the best thing. We saw someone being taken away on a stretcher. So we will bring you any updates as soon as we have it in terms of the riders' injuries. Pit lane will be opening in just under 4 minutes' time, and we'll get going. And then we'll have an 11-lap sprint to the line. So it's not quite half race distance, but 2/3 more.
So they've changed their minds. Race red flag due to crash in turn 9. Race to be restarted for 11 laps. Grid positions based on lap 3. All riders conscious. So it's Alonso on pole, Ortola, Via, Farizzo, Ruda, Rulstone, Munoz, Hologado, Napa, Kelso, the top 10. We should actually decide what was going on instead of putting that on.
Obviously, they'll have less fuel in the bike. I think he can go on a full attack mode for 11 laps. So David Alonso
3 minutes to go.
He's going to try and get a good start, but that first lap, I think he's going to go, really, really go for it and try and break them.
I didn't quite see what happened to Tatsuki Suzuki. They're working overtime here down in Peter Ertl's garage, the Liquid Moly Husqvarna squad, to get that bike ready. I'm not sure. Just saw him having to pick the bike up and ride back. So hopefully that's going to be okay. He will actually start in 13th. So crucially gets back, is if he doesn't make pit lane exit, he'll start from the back of the grid. Just about the restart, it will be a quick restart, so that means they'll roll around, join up on the grid. There's 1 minute that the pit lane will be open for. They'll all roll around, join up on the grid. They'll allow one mechanic to sit there, and then they go off on their 11-lap race. Here's Joel Kelso, a little bit pushed wide in that first part of the race by Riccardo Rossi. Just hasn't looked like he's got the pace this weekend, Joel, compared to being in the front group for most of the start of the season.
Yeah, pretty much every weekend, every race weekend we've been at. Joel's been, he's looked a different rider this year, hasn't he? He's been looked really fast, but like you said, I don't know what it is, just not quite feeling it around here.
First rider with ink on the contract, done deal for next year.
Yeah.
2025, he'll switch to Alessandro Cianucci's MTA squad, where Ivan Ortola is. That's a good place to be.
So a really good signing for both parties. It's a step forward, I think, for what's it called now, man?
Joel Kelso.
Joel Kelso, sorry, I just said a mind blank then. Yeah, for Joel Kelso. Let's not forget, at the end of last year for Joel, he was in that horrible situation where he didn't have a ride right up to the end of the season, and it's a real stressful time. And remember that situation where he was having to try and find some funding at one point. We spoke to him out in Indonesia, and he was looking for sponsors to try and buy a ride. So yeah, I'm really pleased for Joel.
Jacob Ralston, the other Aussie, had a fantastic start, didn't he? He'll be 6th on the grid.
And look comfortable in that group. But like I said, it impresses me more and more.
Where is his teammate, Danny Olgado? He's off it, isn't he, this weekend?
Yeah. It's fun. Hey, but that's what we saw last year with Olgado occasionally. From nowhere, he'd have a real bad result, or be quite a way off the pace. So
Austria, one of them, I seem to remember.
Yeah.
Just thinking back to a couple of places that stand out in my mind, and you're thinking, oh. And that's going to be his problem, because with David Alonso, I think David Alonso's got a mistake in him here and there. He's the first to admit it. I did like Alonso. One of the things that weren't in the interview, he said that he'd learned off the team is when you think you're Superman is when you get the hardest form. And he goes on, keeping his feet firmly on the ground, but he knows that mistakes will come. He knows there will be bad days.
yeah, absolutely. And incredibly, he's been with that team
Restart,
since he was 12, though.
pit lane open.
I think when you're 12 years old, you are so young. But, you know, your formative years, so you've been surrounded by ex-world champions giving you the best advice.
Colin Vya's got a problem leaving pit lane.
Oh,
He's got a problem here. Remember, that pit lane will close very soon indeed. And they're going to be able to get
Colin
it going.
Vya, the
I think
problem.
other teams are going to help out here if they can. Quickly, because he's got 36 seconds to get going.
Yeah, they've got the starter, so that's good. He'll be okay. Yeah. Ooh, that was close, because that had been back of the grid, would it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no. Yeah, it would have. He'd gone out with them on the warm-up lap, and then he'd have been back at the grid.
So Vya just gets into it because he starts third on the
His
grid.
adrenaline going. There is nothing worse. All that work all weekend, and you're like, oh no, please, not now.
Especially when he actually had a good start. Then he had the fastest lap in the first part of the race, made a couple of firm moves, made his presence felt.
Pit lane is now
Just a reminder,
closed.
if you are just joining us, we're going to have an 11-lap restarted race after a big crash for Surtees and Farioli. It will compress things a little bit in our race day programme. MotoGP will still be at the same time, but I expect Moto2 might just start a little bit later than planned. Our starting grid then is changed. It's the standings at the end of lap 3. So Alonso was leading from Ortola and Vya, and Furusato, I mean, it's amazing for Furusato, from 8th he's got up to 4th, Rueda 5th, Ralston 6th, and Munoz, who started originally 14th, he's in 7th place. It pays to be aggressive early on, you know. Olgado and Nepo there, and then we saw Tatsuki Suzuki, he did get out, so good news for the Liqui Moly Husqvarna team. People who've dropped back, Scott Ogden, Joel Esteban will have to take his double long lap in a shorter race now, so it's even more of a penalty, I suppose, in a shorter length race. Less time to make up.
What's his double long lap for? Was that for touring in qualifying?
Practice.
Yeah, the usual.
Up to the line then.
Farioli at the back of the grid, so Farioli did get back. will start from the back of the grid. We'll get a restart. There he is, the number 7. That's remarkable, isn't it? I mean, being involved in something like that,
yeah,
let you back out
crash.
there. So the riders will be held on the grid, and then they'll do another warm-up lap, and we'll get going.
All's fair in love and war in Moto 3.
Piece of paper in from Pirelli with an updated grid, and it seems like most people have perhaps stuck with their choices, not gone to switch to the softer rear, which I'm be surprised. They've probably got a new one in there. Usually in your allocation you plan for this sort of eventuality. We have seen it in the past though, haven't we, Neil? Where you haven't got a spare tyre.
It can happen. Sometimes you are on the limit and you will take that risk and go, well, let's just hope there's not a red flag.
Warm lap coming then. Now where we go on the warm lap.
If there are any issues as Ortola and the rest of the field get away for their final warm-up lap, and we'll have an 11-lap sprint effectively. That was the MotoGP sprint length yesterday.
It is annoying. Sorry, Gavin. It is annoying though in this situation when you're sat on the line and you don't have a brand new rear tyre, for example, and you're like, oh, and you look around. You can't help but do it. You're glancing at all your opponents with a shiny black slick on. You're like, oh, nightmare.
Especially when we've seen degradation. That's another factor, isn't it, about judging the pace here. I still feel he was controlling it at the front, David Alonso. And he should have enough, even in this shorter race, to pull away. Because we saw yesterday, no one could stick with him. Lunetta, Furusato, Kelso, Rossi, Munoz, Fernandez and Piqueras have all changed their tyres. That's what we're being told by Pirelli. Just had that message through from Matteo, who's the
change as in compound, or they've got fresh tyres and everybody else hasn't.
Joel Esteban still to complete one long lap penalty.
From the harder option,
Ferrari still to complete double long lap penalty.
He's gone to the soft, for example.
Yep.
He's changed completely his Kelso. There you can see Farioli still has to complete his double long lap penalty. Esteban has one of his to complete. So actually, he's got a bit of a benefit from that if you think about it, because it's like a neutralised race. So he's actually done one of his long laps. Obviously, he's further down the grid, but there's big bunches right up with everyone else.
Yeah. And we've got all this cloud cover. The track temperature will be not as high as normal. They're just thinking of going for a softer compound.
It's definitely rain over there. If you look over the hills, you can see it streaming down. But
yeah, it's raining.
What we have found here over the years is it hangs around those hills, and here in the valley underneath, it can be completely different weather 2 or 3 miles away. We shall see. Daniel Gardo, what have you got? Can you come up with something?
I suppose this is going to be the question, isn't it, that we're going to fight to have. What is this Moto 3 Part 2 Italian Grand Prix going to give us? Yeah, you can see, look, race Part 2 now being put across our monitors. So the whole system changes. We'll now restart the Italian Grand Prix at the front of the field. David Alonso on pole position. Ivan Ortola, Colin Vire, Tyre Frizzo, Ruda Rulstone, the first 2 rows of the grid. An 11-lap sprint race to decide who is the Moto 3 winner. The first half, red flagged. There's Rulstone getting into position as well. Alonso, cool and calm once again. Hands across board, waiting for the red flag to go away. Eyes to the lights. Here we go again then. Away! Good start this time from Alonso, and again Ortola will pull in once again behind him. Now they're all trying to slipstream down to turn 1. Coming around the outside, Colin Vire. He's taking the normal racing line to the braking zone for turn number 1. Into the first corner, Ortola, Vire and Alonso are side by side. Vire extends it round the outside, multi-car pileup. Oh no! Are we going to have another one? No, both riders conscious and up and okay, but that is Stefano Neppa and Jose Antonio Ruda, who are out of the race, crashed out at San Dato at turn 1. So that was a big one. I'm surprised they didn't red flag it, so that's good news that both are okay. Ruda going down, Neppa going over the top of him, multi-bike pile up down there, but we're all okay. We can restart. Ruda might be able to restart. Nepo, I don't think is. Yellow flags have come back in. We're staying green. Alonso leads. Ortola, Via, Farizzo, Munoz, Holgado, Fernandez, Rulestone, Yamanaka, Rossi. That is the top 10 at the moment as we come through Arrabbiata 2. And, yeah, Ruda has rejoined. Nepa hasn't. Nepa is out of the race. So that's 2 retirements already. Why Zurazita still being classified, I don't know. Hang on a minute. Suzuki has crashed. Suzuki's crashed too. Oh, well, this race is just turning into an absolute just crash fest. So Suzuki, who crashed, there he is again. Now remember, Suzuki had a problem when the red flag came out. It looked like he'd gone down, and it's now another crash for Suzuki. So there's a problem with that bike. Esteban long lap penalty. Ferroli double long lap penalty now has been confirmed by the stewards. As Farizzo gets on the inside of Colin Via. Now at the last corner, Pierda tries to go alongside Ortola. 10 to go then in Moto 3 in the restarted race. And the top 4 closing in together, and so much so, Colin Via's going to get an amazing slipstream. He pulls to the inside line. Alonso drops back to 4th, and it's Via alongside Ortola, and now alongside Farizzo in the inside line. Hasn't changed that. Alonso drops back. So, lead in the championship. I'd love to tell you, but it's not telling me. So, up 9 places is Munoz. Up 8 is Fernandez. Esteban up 7. Lunetta down 7. Piqueras, Bertoletti up 7. As well, Yamanaka, Munoz up 9. If I didn't mention that already. Great start from Munoz. And he's joined the back of this fight as well, which is what we noticed. On board with Colin Via then, leader of this race. The Dutchman holding off as they come through Casanova towards Arrabbiata 1 and 2. And Farizzo's right on the back of Colin Via as they come up. He's looking to the inside line at number 2. Hasn't worked out. Farizzo really is pushing hard up towards the braking zone. Downhill now to turn 9 on the inside line. He's got him. Farizzo takes the lead. Via down to 2nd position. Alonso just trying to find anything back in 3rd position. Holgado has been given a track limits warning. An incident involving Holgado, Ruda and Nepa is currently under investigation. So did Holgado trigger all that off at the start? I'd love a replay. In a picture-in-picture, please, Dorna. Would be nice to see. Esteban's dropping. That's a long lap penalty, I believe, for Esteban being taken. Oh, Via up the inside of Biodati too. Late on the brakes, and he sent it into the lead. It's actually down on Scarperians as the corner afterwards. And Colin Via takes the lead. Farizzo's not going to like that, but here's David Alonso of Ivan Ortola. They're closing in. Alonso pulls to the outside line. Via has that inside, 155.994, and everybody breaks the slipstream down towards Sandito at turn number 1. Munoz up the inside, Alonso's on the outside line. Ortola keeps it in too as well. Round the outside and cutting off goes Farizzo. And meantime, Munoz and Yamanaka battling behind. We've got a 6-way fight for the lead here. Munoz up the inside of Ortola for 3rd and takes him down at Luco. And coming through as well as Yamanaka. Rulestone is just about catching this little battle as well. Is that the 58? That's Lunetta. Lunetta's in it. The top 10 are in it. Here's the start again. So watch out for Holgado, who's going to move out ever so slightly. Catches the front wheel of Ruda. Ruda goes down, and off goes Stefano Nepa. Lands on his head. Thankfully is okay. We got very, very, very lucky there. Holgado, for irresponsible riding, has been given a double long lap penalty. Big for the championship as he runs in 9th position and he's involved in this fight. He's got Kelso directly behind him. So Holgado, a double long lap penalty. All's changed now, isn't it? Surprised about that because that was lap 1, turn 1. Holgado moved up, I don't know about that, but look at that, Alonso now winning this race, and Holgado scoring no points is going to open up the championship to about 2 race victories. 32 points currently, but Alonso's going to lead this race, going to lead this title fight by about 46 points. Huge margin at the end of today. Down we come then, over the line once more. Alonso leads via for how much longer? It's always just after the start line that they find the grip and the gumption. On the inside, Munoz going for it. Outside line, yeah, inside, middle and outside. It's 3 wide. It's like an IndyCar start we're seeing. The top 6 closing in together. Alonso leads via Munoz, Fabrizio or Tola Yamanaka. As they come through, Luca and Lorenzo downhill now towards the second half of the chicanes. Wonderful track, Mugello. Really is quite fun. Braking hard. Casanova coming up next. And is Alonso going to have that sort of braking opportunity to keep this lead of the race? Remember when he led the original race, he kept putting both wheels over the curb, almost having a high side through Arrabbiata 1 and 2. And at the inside, Fabrizio trying to have a go on Munoz, not going to work out. Via trying the inside of Alonso through Arrabbiata 2, over the crest. And Via still on the inside line. Fabrizio going on the inside of Munoz for third. Munoz been shuffled out, so Fabrizio retakes third position away from Munoz. Down we go again then. Esteban passes Caro. Esteban's done his long lap penalty. There's the drone camera getting out of the way. And there's Daniel Holgado taking the first of his long lap penalty loops here at the Italian Grand Prix. And yeah, the long lap penalty area down at turn 12, hairpin. And he comes out just in front of Scott Ogden, so much so that Ogden trying to have a little go there on the MLAV Racing team. Michael Laverty, of course, owning that one. It's always weird. Sort of know how the BT guys must feel. Or TNT now, isn't it? It's been over a year and I still call them BT Sports. It's TNT Sports. Down to the braking zone for turn 1. Via takes the lead away from Alonso due to the slipstream power. Fabrizio goes on the inside too. Alonso gets shuffled back into third position. Ortola ahead now of Munoz, who is then just in front of Yamanaka. So that's the new running order of the top 6 they changed over. Alonso's going to lead by 28 points now to Daniel Holgado. 28 points if things stay where they are. The further back Alonso finishes, the better for the championship, really, in Moto3. In fact, only Moto E is giving us a title fight this year. Everything else has sort of been, is it really going to be worth it? Is it not? And it's kind of like, oh, okay. This is what we're having to deal with today, is it? Over the crest we go once again. Keeping that inside line. It's into Arrabbiata 1 and 2 now. 7 to go. 5 of 11. And hang on a minute. Barassi and Whiteley have dropped to 21st, 22nd. Ruda has got ahead, so has Deltweller. And our Manza in 19th place. So they've changed it. They've traded places. Do wonder with the reduced schedule, is this going to interrupt Moto 2 their start time at all? As Holgado now takes his oh, he just gets inside the line. Holgado might have to do that second lap penalty again. So Holgado now drops out of the championship hunt. He's now down 17th, which means if Alonso stays where he is, the gap will be 30 points in the standings. It's a race win away, 25 points for a race win. This is it again. Don't think Holgado caused that, but you've got to give a penalty if it was irresponsible riding. The stewards about have the consistency of a preschooler trying to write A, B, C, D, E, F, G for the first time. All messy every single time you try it. There's no consistency. Into the braking zone then. Via up the inside, gets ahead of Fabrizio. And Munoz sends it up the inside of Sandito as well. Gets ahead for third position. Into the lead goes David Alonso. He's got a 3/10th advantage, I should say, as well. Fabrizio down to 4th, Ortola 5th. Yamanaka in 6th position. Rulstone's 2 seconds back, not involved in this fight. Now Alonso leads, and it's a 39-point gap in the standings. So closing in on 2 race wins. Alonso will be ahead in the Moto3 title as we go into the early summer break. Yeah, we have 2 breaks. Really weird the way the calendar's worked out this year. We get 3 weeks off, then we do 1 race in the Netherlands. Right, medical director info. Zurazita has suffered trauma to his back. He never lost consciousness and is now undergoing a full checkup. New start time for Moto 2 is E12:30. That's 11:30 British summer time, and will be 12 laps long. So they've reduced the schedule of Moto 2 as well in order to get back on track for MotoGP. So that's the new Moto 2 race schedule. 12 laps and we're underway at 12:30. Yeah, new start time for Moto 2 race starts at 12:30, race distance 12 laps. So they've changed, have they changed the schedule? Yes, that's down from 19 laps as well. So they've cut 7. Wow. So that's good news about Zabi. Send our best as well and hope his back is okay. He's got 3 weeks to get back fit before we go to the Netherlands. I think that's the next race anyway. We've got a test here tomorrow though. And we see the inside line as Via takes Alonso in towards turn number 1. Nice little done move on the inside line. Yep, so end of June. So we're here from now, start of June, 2nd of June. 28th to the 30th of June, it's Assen. And then we do the German Grand Prix and then go on another month break. So it's a 3-week break, 2 races back to back, and then we have a month off again before this British Grand Prix at Silverstone. So it all changes quite much. Via leads Alonso, Munoz, Ortola, Fabrizio, top 5. Yamanaka, Kelso, Lunetta. Then it's Adrian Fernandez and Bertoletti has the top 10. Last point currently for Scott Ogden for NLav Racing. So go on, Scott. Get that point. Michael Laverty will be very delighted about that one. He's not commentating on TNT at the moment today. He's back in the garage watching it as well. Keeping an eye on it all. As they keep on the push. 5 laps to go. Oh, and going a little bit wide there was Yamanaka. Just keeping it on the exit curb. Not enough to cause any problems. They turn in once more. Just revving up ever so slightly. They don't want to have problems. But it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 riders in the hunt for this one. They've pulled 4 seconds. 4.7 now to be precise to Joel Kelso. Kelso's in 7th. So, Pirelli, in a restarted race, giving us a 6-rider fight. Oh, at the inside, Fabrizio trying to go with Ortola down at Scarpetta, and he's got him. But now he's going to have to face the fact that he's going to be a slipstream away as he comes up the hill towards San Dento at turn number 1. Fabrizio up to 4th, Ortola 5th, Yamanaka 6th, and here comes the lead change. Everyone moving everywhere. Alonso takes the lead away from Colin Fire. There's a massive braking zone towards turn 1. 6 riders side by side. Alonso leads him. Munoz up to 2nd. Coming up the inside is Yamanaka who takes 2nd position. Munoz goes wide. Fabrizio goes through. He bangs elbows on the side of Ortola, who goes back round the outside. Down to 5th place goes Munoz, and Colin Fire drops down to 6th place. All that happening in the space of a... Oh, and Kelso's down to 12th. I think Kelso's in trouble. Why did he drop to 12th? Kelso was running 7th, unless he's run wide somewhere. No, they're all in a battle together. That's why. They've just had what's happened at the front as well. Yeah. So Fernandez now 7th as well. So we've got 2 separate battles going on, but as always, we only look at the leaders. When Liberty Media come in as well, I'm going to be looking forward to having a bit of variety on the Dorna cameras. Dorna were quite good with TV development. Now they sort of let it go a lot. They don't show what we want to see quite a lot of the time, including sometimes the race winners crossing the line because there's a battle going on. Split screen exists for a reason, people. We can split screen it if we like, as we see David Alonso leading this race in split screen, as I say. We're seeing his onboard camera when we could be seeing the battle that's happening for 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Air temperature now 21 degrees because they are all, and Kelso even, down to 13. So we've got this battle and then we've got another battle just behind it that's just as exciting. But MotoGP and Dawn are like, nope, can't see it, not happening, nothing at all. So I'll do my best to update you on that factor behind, because there are 2 effective races going on and it's all battling for points-paying positions, which is crucial. Now, Ortola gets the slipstream, pulls alongside Farizzo and Yamanaka, who's in second position. Yamanaka should just have the braking opportunity down to turn 1. Alonso's pulled half a second, so he's going to have the opportunity to keep out the draft. Munoz sends it up the inside, trying to get ahead of... well, actually, Munoz now just to the back. Farizzo loses out to Colin Vire, who goes from 6th to 4th. And Munoz goes back as well a couple of positions. Great job from Colin Vire then to find that inside line coming into turn number 1. The perfect slipstream opportunity. 3 to go. Alonso, 1:55.091 that last lap. Yamanaka, 1:55.3. Ortola, 1:55.4. So Alonso is the fastest. He's pulled 0.6 of a second now, so he saved those Pirelli tyres as much as he needed to. A little bit of rain starting to come into the air. 50% humidity, at the 50% chance of rain, it says on our monitors here. Partially cloudy, air temperature 21 degrees, ground temperature 32 degrees. You can read it yourself on the monitors. So, yeah, there's something bubbling away, isn't there, down at the back? That we're all anxiously keeping our eyes on. 3 laps to go here. Barassi has been given a track limits warning. Down to 23 riders out of the 26 that started. Zabi, of course, being taken to the medical centre with a bit of a damaged back after his crash. Not surprised, just glad that's the only thing he's got wrong, because it could have been a lot worse at the top of that hill at Abu Beata 2. Alonso now has a 40-point lead, though. 39 points he's got to Holgado. Where is Holgado? 18th, completely out of the points. 2 to go here in Italy. Alonso with a 6th, 10th advantage. He's starting to pull away from the rest of the field. 2 to 6 battling together. Yamanaka gets passed by teammate Alonso. And then everyone else darting through on the inside line. Into the braking zone. Vire takes second with a fast lap. 1:54.925. Ortola in 3rd. Yamanaka 4th. Farizzo 5th. And then 6th position for Munoz now. So he hasn't changed places at all on that back run. Ogden has gone up to 14th place. He's passed Esteban. Ruda down to 16th. Bertoletti passes Lunetta, and Lunetta passes Rossi as well. And Bertoletti passes Rulestone. So Bertoletti and Rulestone now 8-9. Lunetta down to 10. Rossi 11. Paquera still in 12th position. Kelso 13th in that little battle. And then the 3rd battle between Ogden, Caro, Ruda, Esteban, Holgado battling out hard. Then the 4th battle between Ferroli and Dirtweller closing in as well. So 4 different battles on this track. We need a quad screen. That's what we need. But Colin Vire was faster on the last lap by 1/10 and a half to David Alonso. So the gap has come down now to 0.5 of a second. So it's just closing in. If Alonso can do this with 1 more lap to go, he's got the pace, just needs to keep it clean. I don't think Vire can do much about it as they turn in once again, coming down to Biodaddy 1 and 2. Then it's Scarpeda, the last corner, and then it's one more tour, this Mugello circuit. Oh, way off the track goes Yamanaka. That'll be a track limits warning. Don't do that on the last lap, otherwise you will get a penalty. A drop of 1 places automatically given to you if you do that on the last lap, because you're deemed to have gained an advantage over the rest of the field. It's a stunning 1:54.738 for Colin Vire, who now moves within 0.3 of Alonso. So he's pulled that gap down by half in 1 lap. Can he do it on this last lap as we come onto it now? Into San Dinto at turn number 1. Hard on the brakes. Alonso turns in. He's got better traction. A little bit of a twitch from Colin Vire. So the Colombian on for a triple race win. If Colin Vire in the Netherlands can do something about that, the Dutchman will be pushing hard now. Ortola and Yamanaka just going for points. Lunetta 7th, Bertoletti 8th, Rossi 9th, Rulestone up to 10th, Fernandez 11th, Piqueras 12th, Kelso still back in 13th position. Rude has dropped down to 18th position as well. Esteban goes to 15th. Holgado gets inside the points. Kelso passes Rossi. Rossi drops to the back of that little battle as well. So Holgado is back into the points as he jumps Esteban, Caro and Ogden down to 17th. Ogden dropped like a stone in that last sector as well. So that's what's happening in the mid-pack. You can all see it changing on our timing monitors that we have alongside us here in the watch-along coverage. Alonso pushing hard. 4/10 of a difference at the moment between them. Over the hill. And it's now fourth. It's 3/10 again. Via so close. If he wants to do a slipstream run, it's not going to be too impossible, but he needs to start catching up to Alonso as he comes down towards turn 12's braking zone. Turns. Keeps it. Frizzo passes Ortola. And Yamanaka goes out. Oh, that's why! Out goes Ortola! Ortola crashes out and picks it up and restarts before Lewis to place Munoz as well. So Ortola's rejoined the race. He's come back in 6th place. It's closer at the finish. Out of the last corner, Scarpera. Up towards the line. David Alonso. He's closing on victory. But so's Colin Vire. Across the line, David Alonso wins the Moto3 Italian Grand Prix. It's hat-tricks. Colin Vire is 2nd. Yamanaka 3rd. Frizzo 4th. But it's still a battle at the line between Hologado. This is crucial for the last point. Rude is coming in. So is Caro. 14th Hologado. Rude 15th. Caro 16th. Ogden misses out in 17th again. Wow. What a battle. That was an unbelievable race in the second half. David Alonso wins. Colin Vire is 2nd. Yamanaka 3rd. Frizzo 4th. Munoz 5th. Ortola 6th. Lunetta 7th. Fernandez 8th. Rulestone 9th. Bertoletti in 10th. Piqueras is 11th. Kelso 12th. Rossi 13th. Hologado 14th. Ruda is 15th in the last points paying position. Caro 16th. Ogden 17th. Esteban 18th. Faroli 19th. Dirtweller 20th. Almanda 21st. Barassi 22nd. Whiteley 23rd. Suzuki, Nepa out of the race. And Zurazita calls the red flag and is receiving medical treatment. There's Ortola, just dropped it mid-corner through turn 12. Completely dropped the front. Nothing he could do about that one, unfortunately. It just caused nothing but problems. David Alonso wins and takes an astonishing lead in this championship fight. What an absolutely fantastic race from Alonso. The Colombian proving that he has the talent needed in Moto3. Here's your championship standings then, in case you were wondering on how they look after this one. Alonso leads by 37 points now to Hologado, 143 to 106. Vire's on 95, Ortola 80. Munoz rounds out the top 5 on 60. Yamanaka 56. Kelso 46. Ruda 45, the same as Fernandez. 42 for Rulestone, rounds out the top 10. What a race we've had for Moto3, and Moto2 is coming up shortly as well. And that race is going to be even more dramatic. What's Alonso doing? The new Moto2 schedule, 12:30 lights out. That's 11:30 British summertime. There'll be a 12-lap race as well. Celebrating with the fans, Alonso and Vire and Yamanaka as well. That's nice to see. We'll be back then at 11:20 British summertime. So in around about 25 minutes time. David Alonso wins the Italian Grand Prix. We'll see you next time when Moto3 returns in a month's time at the Netherlands. Next up, Moto2. See you soon.